Never switching for the Bucks. I mean, y'all's playing, so I'm something no man can touch. I've been going ham like I'm playing in the clutch. Got the Kyrie step back when actors acting up. Been this way since a pup. You can't even get a sub. If you acting different, then you getting. And I ain't even let them come back like the Cubs. That's a dub. I'ma fly like a dove, so what's up? Lost in my mind and I'm drifting. Lost in my mind, seeing different. I've been lost in my mind and I'm drifting. I've been lost in my mind, seeing different. If you ain't showing.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
I miss you too,
and I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Moments away at Wells Fargo Center, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Boston Celtics. Well, for Boston, the waiting game is over. They've been building team chemistry, refining their strategy. They feel like they have a great game plan in place to nab a victory in Game 1. And tonight, we'll get to see it all unfold. Here we are, opening night. Every club can have high aspirations. But Kenny, what's the key to growing throughout the year?
Oh, when you said club, I was thinking nightclub. Oh, what are you talking about?
Of course, you always.
But
Welcome, everybody, to the day we've all been looking forward to. The start of a new NBA season on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, let's do this.
The Philadelphia 76ers preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. And there's certain to be some disappointment because of the injury to Wilson Chandler.
Yeah, and as bad as it turned out to be, it tells you a little bit about his toughness, that when they took him to the locker room after he got hurt, he wanted to come back out and get back on the court.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, Kyrie Irving is excited to leave Cleveland for a bigger role in Boston. He said, challenges are what makes us most human. Conquering fear of failure, showing people you're the best, and that you've prepared for this moment. Those are the things that interest me. Kevin?
Yeah, he's wired differently, too. And the Leafs, Jaylen Brown's game continues to show he accelerated the timeline for a lot. Has he accelerated it for you?
Absolutely. He was somebody, he got, the pick the Celtics announced it in the 2016 draft. I always judge these guys by what have they hit. Especially somebody like Jaylen, who was 21 last year from 3 playoff rounds and going head-to-head with LeBron. I think he's ahead of where Paul George was after those first 2 years. I think he is kind of on par with where Kawhi Leonard was those first 2 years. Kawhi's a better defensive player. I think Jaylen's a better offensive player. But the amount of reps that he got with both the Celtics, also Hayward getting hurt, price on that. He's been in the league 2 years. He's played in 30 games already. And this is the worst he's going to be these last 2 years. He's only going to get better and better and better. Think about Paul George from 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. All of a sudden, he's a franchise guy. Jaylen is on that same pace.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. On the court for the Celtics. Irving it down to his side. There at the backcourt. Tatum out there with Hayward. And it's Horford in at the 5 spot. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first of the game. On defense, the Celtics. Now, here's Covington. Embiid wide open. The three-pointer, no good. I'll tell you, Jason Tatum, what a job by Danny Ainge to trade back for this guy and pick up an extra first-round pick.
Yeah, and the Fleece, your biggest rival of this next 10,
yes.
12. Tatum much better than I think anybody expected. Watching him last year and thinking like, this guy has a chance to be an all-star, and I could see him being the evolutionary Paul Pierce, being Paul Pierce 2.0. And by the end of the playoffs, I think every Boston fan, everybody who works for the Celtics, who plays for the Celtics, and who coaches the Celtics, were like, that guy's untouchable. Like, unless it's for Giannis or Anthony Davis, we're hanging up. We're not interested. This guy, I think, is a future MVP candidate, and somebody that the last guy I remember being able to score as easily as he can score is Kevin Durant. I think he has the same potential. It is not inconceivable to me that he could get 30 points a game in one season soon.
For Boston, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. It's tipped. Embiid with the steal. To the inside, Simmons. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Simmons got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Boston's gone 2 of 2 from 3-point range here in the first quarter. Horford kicks to Tatum. Picked by Horford. Tatum passes to Hayward. Tatum with the screen on Covington. Here's Hayward. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 6. Pass to Covington. Now Simmons, defended by Hayward, just 4 to shoot. Embiid trying to break loose, and Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got 8 points. The Celtics have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Irving kicks to Horford. Bill, 1 shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a 3. He's got the pull-up hissy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step and has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number 1 choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Horford with the screen on Saric. They set the screen. Here's Hayward. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top 5?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're going to stop him, but, you know, you put a taller guy on him, and Curry's, to me, the greatest not in the offense score I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just, you forget about him from one play, and all of a sudden he's in the corner, and they're setting him up, or he's running up the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, yeah, you run them off screens and you tire the guys out and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get-out-of-my-way guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
And, you know, there's no question about it. Hayward is an exciting player and an athletic forward who can really, really score.
Embiid dishes to Covington. And Simmons kicks to Embiid. Down to 5 on the shot away. And the shot is long.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Markelle Fultz, the Sixers traded up in the draft to draft him, number 1 overall. Do you think they overpaid?
There's no question. Because we know they overpaid, because I think the Celtics would have taken Tatum first anyway.
Right.
And the Lakers had already stupidly said they were taking Lonzo. I think they could have just stayed at 3 and maybe gotten Fultz anyway. I am not giving up on Markelle Fultz, though. I think that trade is has a chance to be a bad trade because of how good Tatum is. Fultz did come back, and he played in March and April last year. The speed he had and the agility and just he just moved at the highest possible level of kind of speed that you need in basketball, like Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose, guys like that. He has that. So for him to fail as an NBA player would just be really confusing to me. And you can tell within 2 months, they're like, wow, they blew that one.
What did they do?
Yeah, oh man, I don't even know if has the speed and the skill and the athleticism to be really good. I don't know if it's going to be with Philly. I need a different team.
Here's what Philadelphia is going with right now. Amir Johnson's checked in for Embiid. Korkmaz comes in for Robert Covington. And it's Tunnel in for Fultz. To the middle. And it's Hayward. That time on the assist from Smart. 6 points for Gordon Hayward. Bill talking about Markelle Fultz. One of the strangest injuries you've seen an NBA player go through with the shooting motion, shoulder issue, all the things associated with it.
Yeah, I think he got the yips, and I think it happens.
I have not seen it.
We've seen it with free throw shooters, like Anderson, when he missed those free throws in the 95 finals, and then actually went into a free throw funk. Antoine Walker, the same thing in Boston. Once he lost confidence at the free throw line, he changed the entire way how he played. He didn't want to get fouled underneath, and so we versions of it, but never from getting completely derailed. Yeah, we've never seen somebody just not be able to play basketball anymore.
Amazing. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree, but for the most part, they can't. Some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. If I had an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
You challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great, Durant podcast, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Here is Hayward after J.J. Redick's. Hayward on the wing, 8 points for him, and good that time. Hayward's got 10 points.
And off to a strong start offensively. He's got a nice touch.
Simmons, Tunnel, they set the pick. Puts up a and it's J.J. Redick with a 3. Redick's got his second bucket tonight.
Like seeing Redick work the screen there. Very effective at finding the room he needs to get his shot up.
And there's the foul. It'll go on T.J. McConnell. That is his first foul of the game. .24 seconds left to play here in the first. Hayward kicks to Rozier. Nice ball movement by Boston. And here's Morris for 3. Reese.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot. And if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
Philadelphia shooting their first free throw tonight.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
One shot, gentlemen.
And that one misses.
Boy, the athleticism that Simmons has is downright scary. I mean, remarkable talent this man has. And the potential, I think, to be a multi-time All-Star.
So it's Gordon Hayward making things happen for Boston. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for... Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Al Horford provided some insight on why he decided to sign with the Boston Celtics.
What put me over the edge to make this switch is just the depth that I saw with this team. it's an up-and-coming young team that we have a chance to be good for many, many years, and it was something I wanted to be a part of.
Playing for a historic franchise like the Boston Celtics, Greg, they've got, of course, the great fan support, great history, something Horford relishes.
A great choice. A team with depth and youth. They have a chance to be good for a long time.
And off we go, a close game, now starting the second quarter. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Boston.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have shoot around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
On the court for the Celtics, Hayward and Morris, your small and power forwards. Rozier's out there with Marcus Smart, and it's in at the center position. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, Al Horford is a multiple all-star. And if you count his stats, you miss what he brings to the table. When you factor in his passing, his defense, his efficiency, he does all the things that help you win. Coach Brad Stevens said, Al Horford averaging 15 points a game for you is like other guys averaging 27. Kevin?
The definition of a pro. Terrific guy. Thank you, D.A. And the 76ers making a change here. Sharge has checked in. Al Horford, he's checked in for the Celtics. Brown comes in for Gordon Hayward. On the free throw, no good. Marcus Smart, a guy who gives you a little bit of everything except high shooting percentages. Does that part bother you about his game?
I mean, it's one of the many parts. He's the classic no, yes guy. You say no every time he shoots, he goes in and say yes. He's probably going to kill my dad at some point. I'm not sure when. His shot selection is appalling, but it's part of the package. Like, he just makes plays that win basketball games and has a connection with the home crowd that is unlike just about anything I've ever seen. Like, he would come into these playoff games and he would do one thing and pull the crowd back into the game. You saw it especially in the Philly series. He just has a knack for changing the energy of a game in a way that I haven't really seen for role players.
Wow.
It's really hard for a role player to do that. You can see role player, the Celtics had Eddie House and James Posey in 2008, and they'd make a couple threes and change the energy of the game. Marcus does it just by trying harder than everybody else and getting the rebound in traffic and getting the steal, and just, we always talk about the little things. He does more of the little things than any Celtic I've ever seen.
Great analysis. Fultz, he's checked in for Philadelphia. And the Celtics also making a change. Irving's checked in. Horford's shot is good.
A top-notch post game is just one of the ways Horford helps his team. One of the ways, though, is because he's a tough matchup down low.
Sharge with the screen for Fultz. The shot by Redick, no good. Celtics leading by 5. Passes it to Irving. Picked by Horford. Irving passes to Tatum. 6 on the shot clock. Lets it go from the wing, and it's Boston with another. Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is for a play-in tournament, maybe for the 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 07. I called it the entertaining as hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination, and then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is you have the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference, and then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10. You have 8 versus 9. You do it over the course of a couple days. You use the TV revenue from that, because you could get good money from that, to maybe shorten the season, which would be, for me, the number one thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70-game season. You could talk me into 76, but there's too many games. There's too many nights where basketball is really hard to play.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. It'll go. The Boston lead is cut down to 6, and the bucket from Šarić.
Now that's confident. Šarić says, in Dario, I trust.
Pass to Tatum. Over Šarić. Tatum's shot is off. We were talking about the length of the NBA season and various opinions on shortening it. I suppose, Bill, one argument is that you want regular season games to be more significant. And you want that regular season to mean something.
Mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
Make the pace, I don't know. When you get after the All-Star break, you really feel these guys slogging through it. You know, and especially with the good teams, like a team like Gold. All they did all year was whine and complain. Well, we knew this was going to be a hard season. It can't be that hard. You had 4 of the best 20 players. Like, settle down. I think you'll be fine. You're winning every game by 30 points.
Yeah.
But I wish they would tighten the season.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. Bill, you're a basketball historian. How do you rank the Celtics compared to other franchises in this league?
Earliest fans, I would say. Maybe second highest expectations and the best history. It's out of the history standpoint. The Celtics have the best. Lakers have the second best, but I would not count them because they moved from Indianapolis. And then the Knicks are last. Lose.
And they're so surly.
Yeah, very surly.
Again, Philadelphia.
Folks, so good, Kevin, at utilizing the screen, and he knows how to get a little buzz. He's a scoring threat.
Brown outside. Kicks it to Smart. Shoots over Redick. And Smart the bucket on the assist by Brown. Covington with it. The pass to Fultz, expanding his range. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
Unselfishness, always admirable in a basketball player, and Covington consistent at giving it up when one of his teammates is open.
Here's Brown, and that ball gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
I mean, even from over here, that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
Free throw good from Brown.
And the vertical that Brown has is quite impressive. As relentless a finisher that you'll find in this league.
And the 76ers making a change here. Simmons is checked in. Boston also with the sub. Morris is checked in for... Both shots good from the stripe.
And the vertical that has is pretty impressive, as relentless a finisher as you'll find in our league.
Simmons dishes to Embiid, and the dunk by Embiid.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Simmons against Irving. He kicks to Horford. Sinks the triple. Horford's got 9.
He's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
Simmons passes to Fultz. Here's Embiid. Over Horford. Embiid, no good.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
There's a good screen. Tatum. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
Yeah, I like how Tatum surveys the floor. Great at looking for his teammates, especially when they're open.
Now Fultz. 7 points in the game. Simmons. And Tatum pulls it down. 1:37 left in the first half of the game. Morris into the lane. And again, it's Boston converting.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt. Bill, what a pleasure. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Clark, always great to have Bill with us. Content really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. To all of that. right, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Amir Johnson's checked in for Embiid. Korkmaz comes in for Markelle Fultz. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Saric. The Celtics also changing it up. Comes in for Tatum. And it's Rozier in for Brown. Korkmaz passes to McConnell. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Korkmaz. Rozier defending. And the 3 off.
Boy, strange that he bricked that one. I mean, no clue where the defense was, and I'll tell you what, they got very lucky.
35 seconds left now. Second. Nice job coming off that screen. And that's 15 points for Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
McConnell kicks to Simmons. Johnson the screen. That one's in there. The Boston lead is cut to just 9 points on the basket from Simmons.
Boy, what skill Simmons. I mean, so adept at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
Outside Irving. Horford sets a screen for Irving. Here's where good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one.
And Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
And so it's the Boston Celtics. Lead points to end the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. Here with Brett Brown. Now, Coach, it seemed like you guys came out a little flat. How do you get some energy for the second half?
You just got to go with the people that have energy. I feel like we are not the aggressors. We have to do whatever we're going to do through our defense, and so far it's been good.
Brett, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving with 15 points and 3 assists. He struggled in their last game, but he's not having any problems tonight. Really good first half for him. He was right on the mark. Taking a look at the Celtics, Shaq, what do you think?
Well, we all know it was a great half for Kyrie, but it's hard to believe, Ernie, Kenny, that this guy just keeps getting better. Mentally, I thought he was a step ahead of everyone. Physically as well. He can make the spectacular play look spectacularicious.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia?
I felt they had a lack of intensity defensively. They gave up way too many threes. I mean, somebody needs to pull out the fire hose because this fire is out of control, and it certainly wasn't because of their defense.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. What a game we're seeing from Simmons.
Loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
Yeah, I liked how they took the initiative. They were really locked into what they wanted, not letting the defense dictate their shot selection.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Boston leading by 11. One of the buzzwords we hear all the time now, Clark, two-way player. But when you were out there, everyone had to be, it seemed to me, a two-way player.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's interesting when you see some of these terms that come into vogue. There's not much that's new under the sun in terms of the game. And clearly, two-way players were as valued in the past, even before me, as they are now. I just think it's part of the language of the game now where it's more prevalent.
Simmons and Fultz, the backcourt pairing. Covington at the 3 and Saric at the 4. And it's Embiid. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward.
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks.
Two shots.
The free throw drops by Hayward. And seeing Gordon Hayward out there, you have to be glad that he was able to recover the way he has from that devastating injury on opening night last season.
And I remember your call of the moment, Kevin. The whole NBA world just was shocked on that opening night. As bad as it looked, it seemed to be clean enough to where Hayward won't have any lasting issues with it. The rehab obviously wasn't easy, and I'm sure Hayward is just thankful that he's been able to come back completely from that injury.
Yes, that goes in. And that's 20 points for Ben Simmons.
Just a positive force right now for these guys, and though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Picked by Horford. Tatum passes to Hayward. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now, doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
It's good. 22 points for Ben Simmons.
And really with Simmons, the guy just has everything, including that soft mid-range jumper.
Horford kicks to Tatum. There's a screen. Picked by Horford. Pass to Irving. Lucky 7 drops in. He's perfect from the floor. 7 for 7.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the season.
And Philadelphia calls time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
J.J. Redick's checked in for Robert Covington. Aaron Baines, he's checked in. And by MB.
Boy, what's most impressive about Simmons is how he open man so consistently, the vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him.
Tatum against Saric. Next to Irving. Over Simmons, and it's Boston with another.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most.
The shot from the low post is good. Simmons got 24 points.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out. They are rolling.
And Baines kicks to Irving. There's the screen. 9 for 9, looking deadly accurate, like guys he cannot miss.
It sure was textbook, and Irving is fantastic in the screen roll. A solid decision maker in these sets, and he also can put it in the basket himself if he needs to.
And that one's good, Simmons.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
And, Brett Brown has seen it all in Philly. The good and bad times, was the head coach for their lowest points as this team rebuilt. Now he's reaping the fruits of his labor and persistence as he leads a star-studded Sixers team that has great potential.
Brown dishes to Baines. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That is his first foul of the game. Korkmaz checked in for the 76ers. And a change for the Celtics. Marcus Smart's checked in for Jaylen Brown. Hayward kicks to Tatum. Here's Irving. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Clark, you have to applaud management for the way they stuck with Brown as the team was turning things around.
Yeah, I love it, Kevin. I really do. I mean, being able to see the long-term picture and stay with a coach who you believe is the right one for your group, very impressive work by the Sixers. You know, injuries and a lack of talent were the issue early, not the coaching. The players love Brown, and rarely are coaches afforded as much time and patience as this franchise gave Brown. I applaud him.
You can see there Irving just getting a little tricky with the handles. He has so many ways he can beat you.
They set the pick. Here's Simmons again, Philadelphia.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
The kick out to Irving. And stolen by Reddick. To the inside, Simmons. Again, Philadelphia.
Despite the play of the T, he's had an outstanding game. He's really done well here.
Celtics leading by 8. And there's the feed. Smart. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
And Philadelphia calls time here. This, of course, being game 1 of the season, is their first look at the Celtics.
Yeah, plenty of familiarity in this matchup. Last season, they were knocked out of the playoffs by this club.
Exactly. Dispatched in the conference semis, and so they'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge in this game. They should be highly motivated.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Johnson, he's checked in for Embiid, and it's T.J. McConnell in for Fultz. The Celtics also changing it up. Al Horford is checked in for Aaron Baines. Morris comes in for Tatum, and Terry Rozier subbed in for Smart. Irving against Reddick. Horford. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Celtics lead by 10.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And if there was ever a guy who more than what his stats say, it's Al Horford. Won't have nights where he drops 50 or carries a team with his shot blocking, but you ask anyone he's played with and they'll tell you he is a perfect teammate.
Shot on the wing. Korkmaz, no good. Boston leading by 10. In the corner, Irving with it. The basket assist from Hayward. Hayward's got 3 assists now in this one. And the big men who compete against Horford have nothing but respect for him, Greg.
Well, it is why he's been selected as an all-star by his peers and why guys like Embiid admire his game. I mean, Horford does all the small things on the floor you need as a big man. He's so humble. He just goes about his game and make better at it.
And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Boston.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
Something we've also seen them doing tonight is getting the long ball to go down. Big points from outside.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Covington's checked in. And the second free throw, good.
Well, guys, when you talk about some of the great turnarounds for a franchise in NBA history, the process for the 76ers has paid dividends. They went from 10 wins in 2016 to 52 wins last year.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really, their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Johnson the screen. Here's Simmons. And Boston with the rebound. Horford's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Now, here's Rozier. Right there. Irving kicks to Hayward. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And that's now 19 points for Gordon Hayward.
The assists continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Simmons inside the line. Hits the outside. Got 18 points just in the second half.
Simmons is an absolute thoroughbred as a scorer. A dominant offensive talent who scores in a lot of different ways.
And so it's Boston, riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. And we'll be back with you shortly.
I know my scriptures, bitch. I know my scriptures, bitch.
And a big alarm assists of the game.
True artistry right there. I mean, great to go with the ball, and how about perfect delivery?
Possession in this way. True team basketball.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And a look at the five for the fourth quarter. Rozier in the backcourt. Hayward and more Powers. And it's Horford in at center. Screen by Sharch. The shot by Redick, no good.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
McConnell kicks to Simmons. Pass to Redick. Shoots the three. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Got 3 assists now in this one.
Exactly how Redick living. An incredible three. Shoots it quickly.
Pick by Horford. Here's Roder. Misses off the left iron.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. He forced the shot.
And now Philadelphia on the break. That's it, and the Celtic lead is cut down to 10 and the bucket from McConnell.
And guys on defense gasping for air at this point.
Well, I'll tell you what, Greg, what can they do? I mean, you can miss a shot. I mean, these guys are bringing it on offense right now.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Here's Reds to fall, just a single-digit lead.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, just
Covington with the bucket. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the 76ers.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight. It's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
How can you not be a fan of T.J. McConnell if you like grit, tenacity, always ready to help his team? He's a fan favorite because he plays with such a competitive edge, even when most of the time he's outmatched physically. Extremely scrappy and heady. He played his college hoops at Arizona, and he's got a long future in front of him in the NBA.
And the 76ers with some changes. Embiid, he's checked in for T.J. McConnell, and it's Fulton for J.J. Redick. The Celtics also changing it up. Tatum, he's checked in for Marcus Morris, and Marcus Smart is subbed in for Terry Rozier. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens had to say to his team. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Kevin?
And that one falls from Saric. Arizona guards know how to get it done, and McConnell is no different.
No, he's really been surprisingly good at this level because of his toughness, his smarts, and he's actually gotten better with his little mid-range shot. His vision is out, defensive tenacity really good. I mean, this guy has proven that he's a rotational player of value in this league.
They came close there to tying it up.
Yeah, you know, and after the way they fought back into it here in the fourth, that would have been a big bucket for him.
Outside, Smart. Horford with a screen on Sharp. Just 3 to shoot. They get it again. Horford's shot is good.
Yeah, nothing to just getting the job done when they need to make every possession count.
Smart against Simmons. Fade away, and that one, good. Simmons got 36.
How about this run there in the midst of, on the verge of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead?
Has been a real turnaround, and I give a lot of credit to the defense right along with what they did on offense, because the defense actually gave them the spark they needed.
And Embiid with the block.
And Embiid is a determined defender. I mean, swatting away shots. He's got excellent reach and timing. Makes him a good shot blocker.
Here's Smart, just 4 to shoot. From deep three-point range.
Is very skilled on defense. He just knows where to be and how to guard whoever he's on. Versatile is part of his defensive skill set, too.
And it's official. They have come all the way back. At one point, this thing seemed to be out of reach.
I did not think they had enough clock to get all the way back, but here they are. And now they've got to feel like they're in control of this thing.
Picked by Horford. It's Smart with the drive. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, now 1 of 4 here in the fourth quarter. And no doubt that Marcus Smart is one of the better defenders at his position. Quick feet are complemented by that strong frame, and he just digs in and against would-be scorers and just never lets them get comfortable.
And that one falls for Smart. And Greg was Smart. When he's off the floor or injured, you notice just how it changes the team's defense.
Yeah, I mean, the defense overall just seems to have less bite, less edge, less toughness without Smart. And the way he plays, you feel like he is looking to make a play on defense rather than just trying to slow his man down. Great at taking charges and forcing turnovers. He is truly the catalyst of their defense.
And now look at Boston's upcoming schedule. On Friday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Toronto Raptors. Then on Saturday, they'll go up against Kristaps Porzingis and New York Knicks.
And for that matchup with the Thunder, I think they know how important it is to see how they measure up against the cream of the crop in the West. I'm looking for them to approach it like this is a playoff matchup.
And that one falls for Smart. Kyrie Irving is checked in for Brown. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The 76ers trail by 3. Stolen by Smart. Pass to Tatum. Kicks it to Irving. Outside, Smart. 6 on the shot clock. Over Fultz. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
And they get the rebound, but guys, that's been the issue throughout the game.
Yep, and the results on the scoreboard are attributed to how they've been out-rebounded thus far.
Here's Simmons. No good that time. Now the Celtics take it the other way. 10 points was their biggest margin. And oh, what a play. He just palms the block. Covington in the corner. A three-pointer off the mark. Celtics leading by 3. Here's Smart. And that one hits back iron.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way.
Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
Tell you what, if you're pulling for Ben Simmons, it's great whenever he takes over a possession like that. Killer instinct for sure.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And now let's present our Player of the game, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was gone.
Boston's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. 1:57 left in the fourth.
A really good rebound and traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Here's Sharch. Oh, and they take the lead. And the 76ers lead by 1.
Sharch not backing away from having the ball in his hands in a big spot. Well done.
Embiid with the steal. Simmons against Irving. And Simmons kicks to Embiid. Outside for Simmons. Embiid the screen. Shot clock at 6. Ben Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got 42 in the game.
Yeah, just great. Whenever Simmons takes over a possession like that, what a killer instinct.
Here's Brown. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got his 6th assist on the night.
Hey, and with Brown, guys, it doesn't matter what point in the game it is. I mean, he's ready to shoot whenever he has the ball in a good spot.
Outside for Simmons. And there's the pass to Reddick. Embiid sets the pick for Reddick. Embiid inside. Guarded by Tatum. Good!
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Indeed it is. Love seeing him deliver when they need him most. No fear taking these shots. I love it.
Horford with the screen on Simmons. On against Reddick. 13 feet away. George grabs the board.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Right side Simmons. Nails it.
Hey, when the game is tight and Simmons rises to the occasion, effortlessly capitalizing when his team desperately needs him to.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're trailing by 5. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Tatum passes to Hayward. Picked by Horford. Feeds to Brown. Embiid with the steal, and he commits the intentional foul. And now we've got the intentional foul. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
And the athleticism that Simmons has is downright unreal. Just a remarkable talent who has the potential to be one of the all-time greats.
And he ends up missing both free throws.
Clock's ticking. They got to get up a shot.
No time to waste at all. Got to let it go fast.
Intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. Let's say the game. Irving to Horford. Hayward on the wing. Got a hand on it. He wins it. Make it easy on themselves or their family, and everyone satisfied.
I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on. But let's give this group a lot of credit for that stick-to-itiveness in terms of finishing out and executing that game plan.
That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.